So the father of Austin Metcalf, he's been out here just really on his anti-black tirade. He's been doing interviews and all of that. And I will say this, based off of how this father speak, I now understand why Austin Metcalf felt like he can go up to Karmelo Anthony and approach him like that and put hands on him. I thoroughly understand why that happened now. But let's go ahead on and check out what this wicked father, because he's wicked in a lot of ways in what he says. Let's go ahead and roll this clip.
Oh, there was no black jurors. You know why? Because you can't be unbiased, you dumb If you answer the question, I can't send a black man to jail because he's black, you're not getting on the jury. You're so unintelligent, you can't even fill out a form correctly. You don't even know who your daddy is, because 78% of you don't have your father in the home anymore. You got baby mamas running around with 8 kids so they can get EBT cards to feed you all. You think I'm being racist? No, I'm being real. Because they ain't only black people. White people do the same. I'll call them out just as hard as I'll call you out. Anybody who doesn't work, who wants free government handouts, who wants to live in a socialistic society, move to Russia. And normally, I don't normally attack people like this, but I have been cooped up and caged up and this anger, and this is something I'm trying to work on. I need to develop it and funnel it into a more constructive way. But tonight is the one time I'm going to allow myself, it's okay. Tonight, I'm going to allow myself to say what I really want to say. Because most of the time, I don't say what I want to say because it's not correct. Just because you think something doesn't mean you believe it. Doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it wrong. Doesn't make it a fact.
As I said earlier, after you watch that, now I thoroughly understand why that confrontation happened with Karmelo Anthony and his son, Austin Metcalf. You see, as a parent and the way you are in your home, a lot of times that rubs off on your children. Your children listen to what you say. Your children mimic what you do, whether you want them to do this or not. So his son grew up in a household with him having this attitude and the way he speaks about black people, right? And when you hear them trying to quote so-called statistics about black people, every time they're anti-black racists. I have not met one of them who wasn't an anti-black racist. They're always trying to quote some statistics about black people like you care about black people. So your son, and let's think about it. What you're angry about, Jeff, it's your fault. It's your fault why your son isn't here anymore. Not Karmelo, it's you. Because if you'd raised your son to treat people with respect and decency and do things the right way, maybe your son wouldn't have looked down on a black person and think he can just do anything he want to do with black people. You see, you taught your son how to not value black people as human beings. You speaking that language about black people, about single mothers and welfare and all this, when it's been proven your people get the most welfare. Your people is the most single mothers in this country. It's not black women. It's you, because more white women in this country than black women. So how could black women be the majority of single mothers? A lot of white men leave white women with children. You don't believe me? Go to your local child support court. Anybody in the public can sit in child support court. Just sit there all day and watch the cases that come through there. And you'll see a lot of white people going through child support as well. A lot of white women go in there, don't have no father, nothing for that child. Anyway, this guy, he's just exposed himself. And see, and I really believe in that case, that's why they didn't want him saying anything, because he was going to say this kind of crap he's saying now. And then everybody been on this case, on their bump and say, oh, this dude's a racist. And then it would have messed up they little a situation to undermine Karmelo. So now I see it more clear. See, your 2 sons was reared by you. You taught them anti-black racism. So that's why your 2 sons went up to Karmelo and thinking they can just tell him what to do. Your son Austin put hands on Karmelo. Karmelo say, touch me again, see what happens. And your son did it again because he could not respect Carmelo Anthony's space. And that's why that ended up happening. Now, if you'd have raised your son to treat people with respect, don't put hands on people, keep your hands and feet to yourself, like we all was taught in kindergarten to keep our hands and feet to ourselves, your son would be here right now. But I don't really blame your son. I blame you because you taught him to be that way. He didn't come here being that way on his own. You have a lot of vile anti-black racism and hatred toward black people, and that didn't start because of what happened with Karmelo and your son. That was going on way before that. As a parent, I know that. You don't wake up one day and talk like this guy. That don't happen. He's been this way. He's been talking this way forever. It fed to his sons. And that's why his sons felt they can go just put hands on Karmelo. Let me tell you something. Anti-black racism will not be tolerated. You can't put your hands on people. See, we all see what Daniel Penny did. And it's not going to be too much of that Jordan Neely stuff. You ever thought about that too? You can hit a person and take their life. You don't have to be a quote unquote weapon to do it. There's been many people have lost their life from a punch. But now I understand why his son did what he did. The picture. And that's why, like I said, that's why they didn't want this guy talking, y'all. That's why. Because everybody would put two and two together and like, oh, hell no. No. Hearing this guy talk make me really say free Karmelo. Free Carmelo Anthony. For real. Free him. Because it didn't make sense. Listen, I've played sports. And we wouldn't have had no problem if another team person sat underneath our tent. If it's raining, we'd have been chopping it up with them. Right? My daughter has had track meets because she was running a lot of track. And the kids would go talk to each other from other teams all the time. It was no fighting. It was no problem. Even the other kids that day that was at that event, everybody didn't go fight Karmelo. It was only your sons that was doing it. Why? Because you raised them to have anti-black racism. That's what that was. That's what it was. Because there was all a bunch of other kids that were there that didn't do that. At track meets, at different events, kids go talk to each other from other schools all the time. We all did it. Sometimes you got friends at other schools. So you so savage that a young man can't sit underneath the tent because it's raining? Clearly, after it's raining, he's going to get up and go to his team, obviously. But see, that's how you raised your sons. And what you're angry about, what you're also angry about, is I really believe you're angry that your son the role wasn't reversed. See, because you know if the roles reversed, your son would be home. That's what you're angry about. If the role was reversed, you would be happy. You'd be so happy. But this is the fact. Keep your hands to yourself. Keep your feet to yourself. Like they taught us in kindergarten. See what happens when you don't listen to your teachers. Don't teach your children anti-black racism because they may do things that you would not do. So you may just talk crap about black people in your house and not going to do nothing to black people. But you don't know how that's going to affect your children because your children may take that to the next level. And that's what your child did. He took it to the next level and you see what ended up happening out of it. Y'all think teaching racism is a good thing. No, it's not. I would never say that he'll be and push that in my house. No. Because you know what? You got to live with everybody in this world. And my thing is, like I tell these anti-black racists, if you don't like black people, well, there's a whole European continent. Places like Poland, who there are hardly any black folks. They got some there, but not much. Serbia, all these different places. You can go in Europe where you don't have to deal with black people. A lot of white folks in Russia. Why don't you go there? If I had that much vitriol against people and I couldn't deal with it, I would go places where I wouldn't see them. Solve the problem. Yeah, but this guy here, yep, I get exactly why his sons. It's actually sad. I'm beyond with y'all. Because as a parent, I get it. It's sad because he taught his sons that. And he just took it to the next level, but but his son Austin was met with something he didn't see coming. And Jeff Metcalf got to live with how he taught his son that. And maybe if he would have taught his son just to respect people in general, mind his own business, his son would be going to college right now. That's the truth. Him and Karmelo will be going to college. This should have never happened. This whole incident should have never happened. But because of Jeff Metcalf and teaching his sons not to value black people, that's why all this mess got jumped off. So no, Jeff Metcalf, you got to live with that. It's your fault. It's not Karmelo's, it's yours. I've never taught my kids to go put their hands on people or whatever the case may be, but I also not in my home saying a bunch of vile, racist things about other groups of people. Because number one, what other groups of people do is not my business. I don't worry about what I got going on. And if I talk about anybody, it'll be black folk. That's what I'm going to talk about. I'm not focusing on other groups of people, well, especially my kids. But, like I said, that's on him, y'all. That's on him. It's genuinely sad because his son should be here. Beyond which his son should be here. But when you teach anti-black racism, your kids may take it to another level, and a black child may not sit up here and take your kid doing anything to them and defend themselves. And a lot of black people still gonna defend ourselves. Just as Karmelo went to jail doesn't mean black folks are like, I can't defend myself. Please, black folks gonna continue to defend themselves, whether you like it or not. So best bet, just keep your hands and feet to yourself, and it will never be a problem. But hey, free Carmelo Anthony. He needs to get out because he truly was defending himself.